Hiya, my name's Savannah Marshall and you're watching Sport and Icons.
Okay, so the former undisputed, two-time undisputed even, and self-proclaimed quote, greatest woman of all time, T-Rex, Claressa Shields, has called out one time Keith Thurman, of course, the former unified welterweight world champion, to a fight at 160. Now, I have a few thoughts racing around my head when it comes to this particular fight, and I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days. I mean, firstly, this isn't the first time that Claressa Shields has mentioned the name of Keith Thurman. When she thinks about fighting a guy, she always seems to point to Keith Thurman. I guess you don't particularly like Keith Thurman. I don't know why, or particularly rate him. Now, one of my many thoughts I suppose I could kick off with is it's very unfair for her to call out him, or to call out any man, because that man, and in this particular case, Keith Thurman, is in a very uncomfortable position, because if he doesn't fight her, there's going to be a whole bunch of people out there online saying, oh, there you go, Mr. Inactive, even scared of a woman. What's the matter, Keith? Are you afraid of getting beat up by a woman? There's that section. But then if he does do it, then you've got another section of people saying how, why is he taking on this kind of fight for? What kind of man is he to willingly go in there and punch a woman in the face? Even though she's the one calling him out, right? Whether it's for charity or not, which apparently Keith Thurman is quite open to the idea, but only if it's for charity and only if he can use his jab only and she wears a head guard. And of course it'd be at 160, which is a more ideal weight for Claressa Shields. So he's given her every concession, but it doesn't matter what he does. He's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. Because what if he goes in there and she starts going at him and he's in a position where he has to defend himself by using that right hand? He hits her and knocks her out. What then? How are people going to look at Keith Thurman? Then of course, people will look at the promoter of whoever it may be, whether it be the PBC, maybe it be on Showtime, whether it be Claressa Shields' promoter in Dimitri Salita and that. People will go, well, why did you agree to do this fight for? That's stupid. This is more of a misfits fight. This isn't a real fight, regardless it's for charity or not. So it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't. So it is in very, very poor taste, in my opinion, for Claressa Shields to mention Keith Thurman. Now, I like Keith Thurman. I've always liked Keith Thurman. But I think I'm one of the very few people in quote-unquote media, even though I don't really class myself as media, but many people do. I think I'm probably in the minority that actually seem to like Keith Thurman. Most people that I hear talk about Keith Thurman seem to chastise him a lot. I don't know why that is. I mean, outside of inactivity, that's probably the only thing I could probably chastise him for, is inactivity. But I like him. But him taking on a woman is ridiculous. And it is in bad taste, but it's also bad form. She can't beat Keith Thurman. Not a chance can she beat Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman went in there and it's a even fight, as in he can do whatever tactics that he wants, no head guard. Again, he says that he'll wear bigger gloves and that she can wear small gloves. But if they're both wearing like the same gloves, no head guard, and it's a regular fight, he would beat the shit out of her. Comfortably knock her out. And that's not just because she's he's a man, nothing like that, okay? So let's not get it twisted. This isn't a sexism thing. This is a case of he's stronger than her. She can hit him with her best shot, and he ain't going down. He is an elite athlete, an elite boxer. That's what I'm telling you. Men genetically are stronger than women. Again, it's not a sexism thing, that's just facts. So you put them two in the ring, he would destroy her. But what does that do for his reputation? It tarnishes his reputation. It's a stupid move for him to do it, but at the same time, I can understand it if he did do it, especially if it is for charity, of course. Listen, a lot of people would watch it, and it is Misfits-esque, isn't it? But damned if you do, damned if you don't. I said before, if you don't do it, oh, you're scared of a woman. If you do it, you're a woman beater. So it's in very, very poor taste, in my opinion, for Claressa Shields to be mentioning the name of Keith Thurman or any man. I said she's above herself. She thinks she's better than what she actually is. But at the same time, listen, she's doing great stuff for women's boxing. She is. So I'm not downgrading her. It's just that don't get above your station. Don't be stupid. If you think you can beat men, okay, cool. Maybe your sparring partners let you. Maybe that they don't really want to throw back, as in some of the men that clearly that she spars, as a lot of women do spar men. I think she's a little bit above herself. If she can't knock out women, how is she going to knock out Keith Thurman? She can't outbox him. She can't. He's too big, he's too strong. Whether they do this at 160, of course, which is not Keith Thurman's natural weight. His natural weight is 147, even though it's been a while, so he's probably more accustomed to a 154 now. But even at 160, and she's at 160, he's going to be too big, too strong. I don't care if she's taller than him. I don't care if they're the same weight. He's too strong for her. But, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So damned if you do and damned if you don't. As I said, poor taste for Claressa Shields to mention his name or any other man's name. That's ridiculous. Let's be honest about it. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Will this fight happen? Who's going to promote it? Will it be on pay-per-view? Anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.